Hello guys, in this video I will be doing crochet braids on my hair, and I will be using the Jamaican Bounce Hair in number 1B. Okay, so before we get started, I ensured that I properly moisturize my hair with my fenugreek water and oil as well. And I'm just going to show you guys real quick before I get started. I will be doing a center part and a side part in my braid pattern. That way I have options when I'm wearing my hair. So I will show you guys once we start the braid pattern. Okay, so to start our braid, we're going to separate the hair into 3 pieces at the beginning of our braid, which is the front of the hairline. And we're going to get our index finger, go under the middle, the piece that we have in the middle. We're going to take our index finger, go under. We're going to pull that side in. We're going to take our index finger on the right hand, go under and pull the left side in. And we're going to continue the same step going all the way down on the braid. It's the same technique. And also, if you're looking for a more in-depth tutorial on how to cornrow, I do have that on my channel as well. So I will allow you guys to just watch as I braid my hair down, and you will see that I'm using the same technique. I'm using my index finger at all times and going under and pulling the right or left side in, depending on which index finger I'm using. So that's how you pretty much cornrow your hair. You use your index finger, go under, pull the hair in, and then repeat that same technique all the way down on the braid. Okay guys, so now that we're on the second braid, this is where we're going to have our side part. So I'm just going to go ahead and part that braid and make a smaller part in the front. And then I'm going to go ahead and take that one braid and part it in 2. After I've parted the hair in 2, then I'm going to make 2 small braids and connect those 2 small braids to the bigger braid to make a bigger braid in the back. So first I'm going to start off by braiding this part, and I'm going to start by separating the hair into 3 pieces again. And we're going to braid that down and then move on to make braiding the other part, and then we're going to go ahead and connect the braid. So once I'm finished with braiding this part of the hair, I'm not going to braid it all the way to the end. It's optional. If you want to, you can, but it's not necessary because I will be connecting that to the braid in the back. So I'm just going to go ahead and move on to the second piece, and we're going to also braid this down, and then once you're finished, you're going to connect it to the bigger braid in the back. Okay, so now that we're ready to connect our 2 small braids in the front to the back, we're going to make 3 pieces. So we're going to separate the hair into 3 pieces, and then we're going to use our index finger and go under the middle piece of the braid and pull that right side in. Then we're going to use the next index finger, go under the middle, pull the left side in, and we're going to continue our braid all the way down on the hair. Okay, so once you get to the back, we're going to take the end of the first braid and connect it to the second braid, and then we're going to continue finishing our braid. Okay, so now that we've completed our 2 small braids in the front for our center part, we're going to make 3 pieces to connect those 2 braids to the back. And then we're going to continue our braid down on the hair to the back like we did on the braid for the side part. Then once we get to the back of the hair, we're going to take the end of our second braid and connect it to the braid and continue braiding down on the hair. Okay, so for the rest of the braid pattern, I'll just be braiding it, making 3 braids going back. So since I've already did my center and my side part, I'm just going to speed up so we could just finish up our 3rd braid going back. Then once you're finished braiding this hair down, we're going to connect the last 2 braids in the back, and then we're going to start crocheting the hair to a braid. Okay, so now that we're finishing our braid, we're going to take the end of each braid and add it to the hair, and then we're going to continue our braid all the way down to the back of our head. Okay guys, so this is our hair all braided up, and it doesn't have to be perfectly neat because you will be crocheting the hair onto your braids. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and remove the hair from the pack, and before adding the hair to my braids, I'm gonna go ahead and add some mousse to the hair. Since prior to separating the hair, the texture in the Jamaican Bounce hair can be a little bit frizzy, so I like to add some mousse prior to adding the hair just to tame the frizz a bit. Those that like to calculate and know how many strand of hair comes in a pack, so I just counted 16. I'm just going to be adding, I'm not really going to count, but there's 16 per pack. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're going to start off with the first one. Just going to get my open your latch, and you want to make sure that you're going to add this one all the way to the back. Okay, so we're going to line off the back first, and then we're going to work our way up. So I'm going to put this on the latch. I'm going to close it. And doing it twice with this type of hair is good because it's coarse, so it's going to stay. And if you want to go the extra mile, you can knot it. Okay, so I'm going to show you the other option that you could, the other way that you can do it without knotting it. So for this one, we're on the third row. So we're going to go here, put the hair on. Add the hair to the latch, close it, pull it through. Open it, pull it through once, then twice, and just pull it in and leave it like this. If you don't want to knot it, it's going to be optional. I'm going to show you both ways that it can be done. Because I feel like because the texture of this hair is coarse, if you don't knot it, it's still going to stay on. But if you want to knot it for extra support, you have that option as well. Okay, so for the next 2 braids, I'm just going to be adding the hair without knotting. Making a knot once I add the hair to the braid. But once I get to the end braid, you're going to see me making a knot. Since it's the end, I just want to go ahead and make a knot to ensure that just for extra security, but it's not necessary. As I stated, the texture of this hair is coarse, so it will stay, but I've decided to just go ahead and make a knot just for the end. And I'm showing you both techniques, so you could use whichever one you choose, whichever one you're comfy with. You could go ahead and use that technique. Okay, so now we're going to make a knot on this end braid right here, and then we're going to move on to doing our second row. Okay, so now we're moving on to the second row. I will be using a 2-finger spacing just to give you an idea of where you want to place your next row, especially for my beginners. Sometimes it could be a little bit difficult just eyeing the hair just to figure out how to space it. So I'm using a 2-finger spacing, and I'm going to place the crochet needle as I did above my finger, and that's where we're going to be adding the hair. Okay, so once I've placed the hair right in that spot and I knot it, I'm just going to move on to adding the next hair. And how I'm going to do it going across, I'm just going to feel it to see and try to go in a straight line. If it's a little bit off, that's okay. But I just want to keep it, give it a good spacing, because as I informed you guys prior, this hair has big curls, so it's not necessary to space it too close, especially if you don't want your hair to be super full. So you may want to think about that. Give it a good spacing. Don't worry about it being too if it's not full when you're adding the hair. Once you're finished, I will be separating the hair once I'm finished, so it's going to give it an even fuller look. Okay, so I'm just going to go right throughout until I get to the front of the hair. I will be using this 2-finger, probably sometimes 3-finger spacing right throughout the hair. Then when I get to the top, that's when I'll be placing them closer to when I get to my part, as well as I will be doing invisible parting in the front. So once we get there, I'll show you guys. And keep in mind that you can make your necessary changes if you want your hair to be fuller. You'll see my results at the end. You can always go ahead and make your spaces smaller. You could space the hair closer. So you have the option to make your changes. Make it yours. Okay, so now we're moving on to crocheting the hair onto the side of our braid, and I'm just gonna go ahead and add it right by my ear right there. I'm just gonna give it a little bit more spacing, and if anything, I could just go in and probably fill it in with an extra piece if I do need it, because as I stated, I will be separating the hair, so I think it will be enough fluff on the side. And then for the front, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and separate one piece of hair into 2, and then I'm gonna space it to add it to the front, and then add another piece right there by my ear. Okay, and as you can see, once you're towards the front, it makes for a neater and flatter install if you go ahead and separate your pieces. Just 2 pieces would be good, and then you could add it towards the front of your face, and especially when you get to your part. Okay, so we will be continuing the same technique throughout the hair by using a 3-space finger method, and then adding crocheting our hair onto the braid. Okay, so this process is going to be basically repeated right throughout the hair. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add this row, and then we're going to move to the front, where I'm going to show you basically how I'm adding the hair to the front, and also to my part, my center and middle part. Okay, so now that we've made it to the front of the hair, what I'm doing is I separate my hair into two pieces and then I add it to the front. I'm just doing a regular knot. I'm not going to start invisible knot method until I get to the part. But for this part, I do separate the hair into two pieces and then I add it to the front of the hair to make it flatter and neater in the front. So I've done it for both sides and also towards the front of my hair. For the middle and the back, I do just one piece, but for the front, I separate it into two pieces. Okay, so towards the front, you, just like I did in the back, you have the option to make a knot or not. Once you wrap it twice, the hair is pretty secure with this texture. So you could knot it, or if you want that extra support. If not, you could just go ahead and wrap it and leave it. Okay, so now we're going to move on to making our invisible part. Okay, so now that I'm ready to go ahead and crochet my hair on for my part, I've already separated a few strands of the hair to ensure that I could just grab the hair once I'm ready. And I'm gonna crochet this on, and as you can see, when I'm doing this part for both center and side part, I'm just pulling one side of the hair through, not both parts of the hair like when I'm doing the regular. So I'm gonna put the needle under the braid, gonna loop it, pull the hair through, and then we're gonna go through the loop and pull one piece of the hair through and latch it onto the braid. And I'm gonna continue that same technique all the way down on the braid. Okay, so we're going to continue the same technique by adding the hair to our crochet needle, and then once we're pulling it through, we're going to do one half of the hair, not both, and go ahead and pull that in on the braid. So now that we're zoomed in, we're going to put the needle under the braid, add the hair to the needle, pull that through, use our finger and pull one half of the hair through and pull it tight on the braid. Okay. So I went ahead on all four braids that I have in the front to do my side part and my center part, and I've added my crochet here, and I'm only pulling one half through, as you can see here, because I'm doing the invisible part, not the regular crochet. So I'm just gonna add the hair under the braid on my crochet on my needle. I'm gonna pull it through and just pull one half of the hair through the loop. Okay, so with doing the invisible part, you also have the option of looping the hair again. Once you pull one half of the hair through, you're just going to wrap it and pull it through again to get an extra, to make it extra secure. I did not do that with this process because the texture of the hair, I felt like it was secure enough, but I'm able to show you at the end of the video. Okay guys, so this is our hair all finished, and the only thing I did was I just the extra pieces that I have left, I went through just the because you saw how I spaced it, just the top only that was showing. I just went and placed the pieces in those parts, and then I had to take 4 extra pieces from an additional pack just to fill in the top here a little bit more, because even after I separated it, I felt like there was still some space there. So I just went ahead and filled it in just 4 pieces. So I've used 3 pack basically and 4 pieces from the other pack. So I still have almost a full pack left, because it came 4 in a pack, and I purchased it on Amazon, and I got it for $28 for the 4 packs, which I think is not bad. So I'm just gonna mousse it a little bit more, and then I'm just gonna trim it. So I'm gonna shape it a bit to my face, and then that's it. Okay, so guys, I just went ahead and shape this side so I could get an idea of where I want to go with the hair. So I'm just gonna do this side the same way. Okay guys, so this is our finished look after adding our edge control, and based on the braid pattern that I used, you're able to adjust the hair to make a side part as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope it was helpful for you, and there's another method at the end of this video and how to achieve the invisible part. So for the invisible part, that was the only part that I was having issue with, just this row actually. I did you saw the 4 small braids that I did to the side for side part, center part. I did an invisible part on all those braids, but for this one, I was having them coming loose a little bit, so I had to fix it and I did the double knot. So I'm just going to show you guys real quick how to do that. So you're going to take the needle under the hair, put the hair in the hook, close it, pull it through. It's the same for everything so far. Once you go in and you're still going to take one piece of the hair, right, and pull that through. But instead you're going to pull it like on the video. I just pulled it in tight on the hair and that was it. But for this one, you're going to take this and then we're going to twist it around. So you see what I'm doing? I'm taking this loop and I'm going to twist it. And then I'm going to pull this half that's on the bottom back through here. And then that's when I'm going to pull it on the hair. And it stays tighter that way. So that's going to be the double loop method for the invisible. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I hope this video was very helpful for you.